that train come, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on, and that train keeps on rolling on down the sand. Well, when I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I know I had this coming, I know I can't be free. Those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, I bet they rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigar. Well, I know I had this coming, I know I can't be free. And those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this ring, if that railroad train was mine, that they moved on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. Those people keep on moving, tell my blues story. Good evening. This is called Creativa, a convergence of creative visions. My name is Steve, and I'm your warm-up act because I'm here to check this out and see what's working and what's not. And a lot of things are not working, so we work with what we have. Well, I miss all the nights and on saying something about me. There were bells singing and drums drumming, and the archers split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing into the sun that was floating on the breeze. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 2023. Look at Mother Nature on the run in 2023. I was lying in a burned out basement with a full moon in my eye. I was hoping for a replacement when the sun burst through the sky. There was a band playing in my head, and I felt like getting high. I was thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was a lie. I was thinking about what a friend had said. I was hoping it was Mother Nature's silver street to a new
Going to try something. Haven't done it in about 6 years, but it popped up in my Facebook. It's something I did not too long ago, about 6 Christmases ago.
You know, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Vixen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had their shiny nose, and if you ever saw, you would even say gold. All of the other reindeers just like to call his name. They never let for Rudolph join any reindeer game. And one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as he shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you're down in history. Yeah, Rudolph, won't you guide my sleigh? Won't you guide my sleigh?
Sure, why not? That was my version of how I saw it once done by now what do you call it? Canceled culture called what was it called? California Raisins Christmas, and that was the version sung by the Camels.
We three kings from Orleans, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and mountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, everybody do the camel now. Star of wonder, star of light, star of broad beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to that perfect light. Born the King of Bethlehem's place, gold I bring to crown him again, King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Star of wonder, star of pride, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to the perfect light. Frankincense to walk away, incense on the deity night, prayer and praising, voices raising, worship every God on high. God of wonder, star of pride, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to that perfect light.
Now here's a verse you don't often hear in church.
Murray's mind is better perfume, breathes alive a gathering. the old and brown. King and God and sacrifice. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sounds from the earth and sky. Oh, everybody say, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to that perfect light, guide us to that perfect light. Anyway, once again, we are at Creativa. We may or may not be streaming on Twitch.
We are.
We are?
We are.
We are streaming on Twitch, but not Facebook Live because I didn't have time to set that up. I got too much to do. So we're going to introduce now our host for the evening. His name is, oh, I got you. Let's bring up the guy who invented this all and been doing this for something between 14, 18 years, maybe about 432 BC in the court of Hammurabi. So let's bring up Mr. Randy Bell.
Yeah, it's been a chunk of time, and I sometimes forget how long exactly. Sometimes I'll say 14, sometimes 15, but usually I think about how young my daughter was, and I think she was 4, she's 19 now, so about 15 years. But it's been a chunk of time. We've been offering the Tri-State's most unique open mic night for a while, and we do it for the love of art. You know, we just want to get as many people out here as possible and create a platform for artists to have a voice. And we do have a multitude of rather eccentric at times and diverse performers, ranging from poets to your expected acoustic guitar players to the less expected belly dance troupes and escape artists and jugglers, and we've had them all, to be honest with you. We've had dancers and I told somebody earlier, we've had from 5 to 100 people, depending on when you show up. COVID kind of hit us hard like it did everybody else and every other place, so we're still kind of recuperating from that. But we just, like I said, our main thing is we love art, we want to promote it. So we're mostly a word of mouth thing, but we are on Facebook. And the second Saturday of every month. No cover ever. We do have a donations basket in the back if you want. All that goes towards the snacks that are complimentary. We've got pop and earth-defying, gravity-defying coffee. And it really is tonight. It's actually stronger than I normally make it, which is, you can normally put a spoon up in it, but tonight I guess you could put several spoons. So it's pretty rough. But hey, it's free, right? So, you know, I always say my standards are lower when things are free. But we got cookies and snacks. Please eat that stuff though, because they're all open. I don't want them to go to waste. So, so that's kind of what we do. And usually every month we have a featured artist of the month, ranging from your musicians, and sometimes we'll have filmmakers. We'll have movies featured. Miami's awesome because they can accommodate almost anything. It pulls down, of course, for they got full movie capabilities, projectors, you name it. But tonight I'm really excited. Ryan Hershey is going to be our featured artist of the month. Our featured writer, our featured horror writer, actually. Ryan and I go back a number of years. We used to work together as social workers, so I've known Brian for, how long, Brian?
9 years.
9 years. Gosh, that's a chunk of time too. Man. So Brian, he's written several books, and he's got many or all of them back there, and they're for sale. I encourage you to check out his stuff. He is a horror writer. That's why he's got the werewolf back there. It's not a real werewolf, so it won't bite you, but you can get pictures with it if you want. You don't have to necessarily ask. We just ask that you don't try to take him with you when you leave, because he is kind of cool. And if you get, he does bite. He does bite. So it's a gift that keeps on giving with these werewolves. You know how that goes. But so Brian brought his. What's the name of the werewolf, Brian?
What's that?
What's the name of the werewolf?
It's actually Maya.
Maya?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You said Maya?
Maya. Yes.
Maya. Okay, cool. So Maya the werewolf, And you can check them out and check out Brian's books. Brian's written several books, including Dark Steps, Forgotten Sin. His newest one is Damned to Live. Brian's one of those public servant types. He's been around giving to the community, 17 years of experience teaching middle school English, language arts, creative writing, and in urban districts at 2 master's degrees. I've mentioned the books, it's four total books, and certified fiction book editor, which I think is really cool. I think I knew this and I kind of forgot it. I was like, oh, that's right, I knew that. But he helps authors with their structural designs and copy editing needs. And he's recently even started his own publishing label titled Reader to Writer Press. And if you're interested in learning more about Brian, please be curious and go back and ask him about himself. I'm sure he won't be shy and he won't bite you like the werewolf. But again, what we're trying to do is promote local arts. You don't have to go to LA or New York to find the arts. We've got them everywhere here in Hamilton and abroad. So Brian is a great example of the type of artist that we like to highlight. And so that's kind of what we do. I think I brought some of my own poetry up here. We got now the other thing is, it's an open mic night, so if any of you all want to sign up, we have a sign-up sheet back there near the snacks. So if you feel so inclined, 5 or 10 minutes up here, the stage is yours. You can do whatever you want with it, as long as it's legal, and we're an uncensored event, so so if you want to sign up, we do have people who voiced an interest in performing, so we know somebody I think is going to do breakdancing.
I'm not going to do breakdancing.
It's a running private joke. Nobody else understands this, but it's kind of, I think it's funny. So we do have performers. I'm going to share some poetry. We may have somebody else, and Brian's going to come up, and then he's going to get back up on the stage. And also, hey Brian, do you mind if I ask if you maybe give a little question and answer opportunity for the audience, maybe see if they've got inquiries about your trade? And I think that'd be kind of cool if you don't mind. I just put them on the spot. See how I did that? But I have the all-powerful abilities of the MC, so I can do this kind of stuff, right? I can say, what's he supposed to say? No, I'm not going to do that. No question and answers. So major pressure there. Anyways, I do write poetry, and I've been in some movies, and I'm a social worker by trade. I'm Randy. Oh, one other thing before I forget. Restrooms are back here. Please don't leave the keys in the restrooms. They will lock. We have had a lot of things happen at Creativa in 15 years. And one of them was our bathrooms were shut down. They were shut down because of that. And so we just dragged everybody next door. So I'm sure they loved us. We're like, just go next door. And then, like I said, we've had a packed house here. But the restrooms, we have, the water's over there too. And anyways. I've got a few poems I'll read to you, and I'll start off with one called Iron Song. These are the days, or so they say, bombs from my nether half falling like sloppy raindrops. Pearl and I had a stride down the hall, slow motion glide surrounded by a warm, worn, and wasted human smell. Several fellas in several rooms had their mouths open, as if to talk back in blindness to the ceiling, stunned by the silence. Photos were pinned to corkboards, and TV sets were all in agreement that the best thing to do with it all was to join together in a pixel chorus of an outside world. Greta looked at me and I looked back. I was to provide an explanation, but just stared ahead and sing to the gate of the visit. This was what we did after all. Mom was Superwoman and she juggled planets. Something about, well, you kind of at least earned our time. I swear to my dancing goddess who smiles upon herself and us all that I will never leave you alone like some of your neighbors. When we arrived at your door, your belongings were situated like yesterday on the couch, 3 bags, photos included. At any moment you were waiting, a young girl standing near the train station. My son, he's coming soon, will take me to that one place that stands alone. Home. It's not here. this I know. All I could do was kiss her face and divert the topic, dancing into something else that would make it all okay. But it's not okay. You held everything in balance, and now gravity has turned against you. And I offer my middle finger to it all. You've done this tour, I shout, but I do it without mind language. Just my stubborn iron spine set against the movement of time. What pride, Mama. I'm here. I know that the past is all falling into itself, but it's now, and now is safe, and now is us. Your home is waiting, and we will be close. The pain in your knee is a forest fire set up on bone. It will get better. It's okay, Mom. Greta looks at her phone and wraps arms around her mamaw in the manner she learned through repeated gesture warmth, the kind that greets you with smiles through blood and space from her dad and his mom and her mom and so forth, until there is blue and greens from the country where we were born, a Viking set upon seas, upon lands, and upon gravity. We are iron-born with iron songs, and iron sets hard and pushes into time fabric, hands pushing into the night, hands with patience and conclusions, hands with mead, hands with salt and dirt, and hands wrapped into kin. Let's look at these photos, Mom. These are here with us too, and tomorrow I'll be back. Just hold this rope. It's from here to yesterday, and behind us all, and into something we're not sure of. Hold it tight, Mama. It's what we've known, I swear. These things, they will return just like friends at a party who went out to smoke, tethered to definitions and meanings and photos. Those photos, I'll make a contract with Walgreens to print as many of these as I can, that this phone can keep. I just need more than 16 gigabytes. It only holds so much, and it falls where the rain makes it an enemy. Then each photo fades, and each second falls backwards, and then it is rewound into behind something, that thing like a curtain on the stage. We're trying to know those lines, Mom. We'll get it. We'll nail it. We know who we are. I swear. Sometime in the morning, I'll be back. Thank you very much. A couple more here. Okay, this poem's called Be Kind. Be kind. It starts within. Can you meet and greet each unpleasant thought and feeling with an embrace? Instead of throwing stones at anger, fear, and anxiety, can you laugh and share poetry together with these companions over a cup of coffee? Once I collapsed upon leaves in the Black Forest, upon a sand dune in Death Valley, upon snow in Barrow, Alaska. I saw that I was truly speaking for every comet, star, atom, and blade of grass. I smiled wide when Stephen King released a new novel, because he did so with us all. I sobbed with the little girl who hid into a tight ball in a closet after being beaten again by her father for the 20th time. I stood in wonder and rejoiced when a scientist in a lab somewhere discovered a new secret which will heal many. We are we are many and we are one. And after 52 years, I see fit to rise above my single self. After so many years of seeking, found, upon every sunlit rolling hill, and each sea bottom dark, upon all lovers' moans of delight, and every boo of every crowd whose team has been defeated, I will claim and be owned by all, every womb and every tune. I will utter each word of all poets, and dance with the vibrations of every musical note. And I will do so from the first curious microbe stirring until the last planet stretches too far and springs back upon the tip of his pen and begins again. How can I not be kind after all of this? So be kind indeed, love all unabashedly with delight and without expectations. You are loving yourself after all. Blessed be. Thank you. Okay, I've got one more. Just gotta find it. Okay, this one's untitled. Gratitude. Yeah, it stretches with a reluctance to believe. I walked up to this moment and turned around, not sure what I expected. Some sort of sand mandala. Everything is washed clean eventually. I read a bunch of books by gurus who went to India. I sat down and chewed on nothing. Went to groups, started groups, left groups. We all ran up the mountain, danced with laughing gods, and saw what we came for. The day job, bastard paperwork, kids, disappointed spouses, daily lives, and bills welcomed us all back, leveled us back. As it turns out, half-price books pays $1 or $2 for that crazy sage wisdom. I bought a Diet Coke, a Snickers bar, and some gas from Circle K. 30 years after the fact, enlightenment is playing Super Smash Brothers with my daughter, being erased into punk songs that can never be loud enough, traveling through a Stephen King novel, sitting still for a heavy discussion with the client, touching my mom's hand against glass, or hearing my love likes the coffee that I made. I guess gratitude is the door for this enlightenment gig. I guess the mystery is mundane and the divine beautifully fleeting. The mountain is the valley is the mountain. But words? Definitely not this poem. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. So, who's the next victim? Who would like to perform next? Tony. I would like to welcome with a loud round of applause Tony Edwards. Mr. Edwards is a resident filmmaker and from Wright State University Film School. He also has a YouTube. He does movie reviews and video game reviews, and he is also a rap musician. And what he doesn't do is breakdancing, despite my pressure to the cause. But anyways, please give a loud round of applause for Tony Edwards.
Hello everyone. Like you said, my name is Tony. On the internet, I go by Marineman. I've been doing YouTube for a decade now. I started when I was 15, and I was given a rundown laptop, a very cheap microphone, and some crappy recording software on the internet, and I decided to start my YouTube channel, and well, quite the rest is history. I have a lot of inspiration such as Markiplier, Synaps especially, and quite many others in the YouTube space that you may or may not know of. YouTube is a very important thing to me. My life evolves around YouTube, and my passion is for filmmaking and YouTube as well. So today, what I'm going to show you is about a 10-ish minute video of the recent game review that I've done. I'm going to, in this version of the video, the actual game review has been edited out, so it's only just the skit parts of it. So it saves a lot of time, and it was a review for the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, and with my game reviews, I have a whole cinematic universe to them, with several characters, story arcs, and a lot of craziness. It's really hard to explain in a short amount of time, and a lot of it kind of speaks for itself. It may leave you with questions, but that's why I like to put my viewers the kind of position they're in. Just leave them with a bunch of questions, not sure what they just watched, and not sure what's going on. I really like the ambiguous and mysterious part of it. So without further ado, I'm going to show you this video, and I'll talk a little bit afterwards.
There is no escape. Nothing who I am. I don't know where I came from. I can't find any answers as to where I'm supposed to be.
How long have you been on this installation? A month now. Do you have any other connections to the UNSC? I have 0 connections to the UNSC. How did you get here? If I remember correctly, I was placed in a multi-dimensional elevator by my nobody, Onyx, who is now absorbed or morphed with Jamie, an ex-love interest of mine. Do you have any information on the heart-shaped moon above us? That's Kingdom Hearts. How does it work? Well, whoever holds the Keyblade can summon it and wipe out the realm of light, thus starting a new beginning of life as we know it. What you explain is similar to the functions of this installation. Do you know what this installation is? Halo. I'm gonna need you to start from the beginning.
Yours will be criticizing me. Ours will be criticizing you. Ours will be harder on myself. You'll never know how I truly have felt. Makes you wanna say, this thing really does suck ass. Makes you wanna say, even things from the past. Makes you wanna say, this is the worst thing I have seen. Makes you wanna say, what the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine? What the fuck, Marine?
When Onyx sent me here, I arrived underground in a tunnel. I was lost and roamed around a bit. I soon found a mural and followed it to the end and found out I was at Wright State University. I knew where I was, but I did not know when I was. That's when I met up with students and they explained that not only I was out of college, but the more complicated facts of the situation. I was in the future, 538 years in the future. I was accommodated with a place to live and free meals as they noticed I had information on one important thing. Onyx had summoned Kingdom Hearts. How? I don't know. And the worst of it all, the school saw me as an asset. So I could not leave, and for being in the future, everything seemed modern. Like 2022 modern. It seemed like this campus was like a pocket dimension of my time, but set in the future. And the best thing about this situation is no one is here to make me play shitty games. Hey Marine Man, who the fuck are you? I'm the angry video game nerd. No the fuck you're not. Alright, I'm the nerd from this dimension. I'm the RA of this building. Right. Anyway, thanks for introducing yourself, but I have to catch some Z's. It's getting really late and I really need to sleep, so I'm just gonna... Not so fast, Marine. The security guard, Mark, is out sick this week. I need someone to take his place. Oh, that really sucks, but I really have to catch some sleep so I can wake up early tomorrow to figure out how to get out of this dimension and, you know, stop Kingdom Hearts. Right, Onyx and all that bullshit. You know what? Forget about all that. I'll deal with it. What? Yeah, just forget about it. Just watch the building for a week. You do that and I'll figure out how to get you out of this pocket dimension. Right, okay, so how will I watch the building? I'll install a security system on your Xbox remotely. Okay, wait. My Xbox? Yeah, it's the FNAFXP program. What does that stand for? The Five Nights at Freddy's Xbox port. What? Since when did FNAF come to Xbox? Right before security breach? You know what? Fine. I'll just play FNAF. It means I'll be free of this fucking bullshit. Now you must be wondering, is this a bad game? No, but it can be difficult and... Hello? Hello? Ah, Marineman. Welcome to your first night at WSU dormitories. Now, let's fill you in on your job. Once you install the program, you need to launch it and get to work and looking at those cameras. Okay, is there anything I need to look out for? Well, yeah, it seems that in my dimension hopping, Onyx has found a way to get into the pocket dimension. What? Yeah, it sounds pretty bad, but don't worry. You have all the cameras over campus, and so it'll be pretty hard for him to catch you. So just look for him on those cameras. Okay, but I can just lock the doors, right? Like, absolutely. You know, just flip the knobs, and he shouldn't be able to come in. Hopefully. Yeah, maybe. Okay, door is locked. I'll get to playing this game and looking at those cameras. Good luck, Marine Man. You're going to need it. How does that even work? Let's check those cameras for the dorms. No bells or whistles have been going off, no alarms, no get the fuck out of there, no nothing's been happening, so I think it's smooth sailing right now. I don't think there's anything on those cameras. Oh fuck. No, this isn't good, this isn't good. Fuck, where did he go? Oh shit. He's right outside. Found you. Covering your face again.
I've done it. I summoned Kingdom Hearts.
How? You don't have the Keyblade.
It was easy. I took you to a pop dimension where Kingdom Hearts has already been summoned. I will use its dark powers to finally rid you from existence.
Then what?
Me and Jamie will be together forever.
Your voice. It's different. Jamie's not part of you anymore? What happened?
Silence!
Onyx, you owe it to me. Tell me the truth.
Fine. I guess I'll tell you. When I sent you here, Jamie was strong enough to break free of my possession. She fled. Then I followed you here. There's a paradox. To break it, I must kill you too.
Become whole?
Yes.
Onyx, you're already whole. You don't need Jamie. She's her own person. How did it feel when you had control over her?
It felt wrong.
I bet it hurt when she got free from your grasp, right?
Don't mock me.
I'm sympathizing with you, you fuck. You brought me into this dimension, and only you can free me.
I only wish to be loved.
No one's gonna love you if you act like this.
I just wanted, feel, wanted.
You are. You are wanted.
In this dimension, I can't use the Keyblade. Something stops me from summoning it. Even I wanted to send you home. I can't.
We'll find a way. but it means we work together. Deal?
No way.
What? Why?
Why would I want to work with you? You are weak. You follow orders from your enemy, and even today you are talking to a fake.
What? Fake?
The nerd is just a projection. He doesn't exist. He's a fake stuck in this dimension.
Explain why he acted so off. Not like the nerd.
He's just another you. You're closer to the nerd than that puppet will ever be.
You actually mean that?
Don't mistake this as a compliment. You are insufferable. Enough talk. Any final words before I send you to the realm of darkness?
Yes. Yes, I do. Nerd! Now! Sorry, Onyx, but you're trash! Remember, Marineman, take shit from no one. Only give shits. Dearly noted. Look, I may not be the nerd you know and love, but listen, I'm not a puppet. I'm as human as you, and you don't have to explain yourself, nerd. It's fine. What now? Well, we finish the fight. Thank you. Making this was very difficult. The dorms are loud as fuck, and people are very inconsiderate in the dorms. And making this throughout the campus was a interesting experience. Having a larger kind of set was like a blank canvas to me, and I saw endless possibility. I remember going out in the middle of the night to shoot some of the shots of a dark sky so I can just put Kingdom Hearts in it, which was fun editing. And my next project for What the Fuck Marine is a big collaboration where we probably take down Onyx once and for all, and possibly end it with a giant skit with many characters with collaboration of my friends. So I'm really excited to work on that this month and try to get it out by Christmas. So if you guys want to see that video when it comes out, make sure you subscribe to Marineman on YouTube, and thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Tony. I really enjoyed that. And Tony is again a film student at Wright State, first year, and we've had a bunch of Wright State film students out for film shorts, and it's always wonderful to have. I just love students. I love the fact they're learning and contributing, and Wright State is so cool. We're excited for you. I think now is a good time to bring our featured artist up. So I'm really excited to have Brian on. It's been a while since Brian and I have seen each other, so it's just great to see you, Brian. But please make a lot of noise for Brian Hershey.
I am going to do a reading from Dark Steps. The ability to become aware of something through the senses is perception. For most, this is reality. Though often it is just a veil that covers the sins that hide below the surface of the outward impression of normalcy, worsened by the gift of free will. Prologue. This can't be happening. Please, stop. Doreen Moore said as she scurried backward along the floor, desperately trying to escape. The blow was fast to her forehead, knocking her momentarily senseless. Stop, please, she whimpered. Why? Why are you doing this? The second blow came with an equal amount of force upon her mouth. She rolled to her stomach and spit her front teeth onto the hardwood floor. Blood poured over her lips as she attempted to drag herself into the next room. With a sudden jerk, Doreen felt her body being yanked from behind. She was losing all sense of awareness. Her eyes were blurry. She choked on her own blood. When her body came to a stop, she glanced to her left. The searing pain in her head made it hard to focus on the body of her husband, Jamal. He was unconscious, lying on his back. His nose appeared as though it had been crushed inward. No, baby, no. She whimpered as her husband's body was rolled on its stomach. The first strike to the back of his head came with a wicked sound of his skull cracking. The second splattered his blood across the side of her face, forcing her to close her eyes. Each heavy, forceful blow crushed more of her husband's skull until the strike sounded wet and muckish. The final blow broke the boards of the hardwood floor. A weighty constraint prevented Doreen from moving. A hand gripped her hair. It was extremely strong, and she didn't have the strength to fight it. The hits to her head and face were too much. Dizziness mixed with pain. Lucas, Doreen uttered just before she heard the same wicked crack of her own skull, and everything in the room went dark. Chapter 1. Not dead, though certainly devoid of any enthusiasm for life, Derek Mays listened to the snow pelt the window pane of his apartment as the empty shiver ran the length of his body. Too much bourbon from the night before had caused a headache to split his temples with the slightest movement. The digital clock on the nightstand glowed bright against the darkened room and read 6:44 a.m., 1 minute before it would shriek its tones to announce the end of the night's slumber. Piercing, painful, breaking the quietness of the room. Working for Jobs and Family Services in Cincinnati produced nothing more than a constant feeling of exhaustion after 60 to 70-hour work weeks that hid behind the guise of operating for the greater good. No satisfaction, no enjoyment. Derek's work was merely a collection of moments strung together into hours and days, lost within the folds of endless paperwork and bad memories that couldn't be erased. He had come to refer to his clientele as the Invisible Society. They often contributed nothing, never left their homes, never participated in community events or activities, never supported institutions such as libraries or schools. Yet they were happy to take from the community and were often perpetrators of horrific abuse to their children. Exhausting, draining, leeches, Derek thought, as he forced himself to sit in his bed and hit the button on the clock to avoid the alarm. Even after 22 years of experience as both a caseworker and therapist, most of his clients worked against him. He was not someone they wanted to come to their homes. JFS had the stigma of being child snatchers, homewreckers, and a general menace to the community in the eyes of the ignorance. Derek's head throbbed. A fifth of Maker's Mark stood beside a small picture of his late wife, Anna. He grasped the framed photo and let it come to rest on his lap as he rubbed the nape of his neck with his other hand in an attempt to blink away haziness of sleep and stabilize the pulses of the discomfort in his head. Derek focused on the warm image. It captured a moment that was happy, but gone. Car accident, so fast, no warning, just gone. Hollowness was all he felt. a longing to have her back in his life, to feel her touch, her breath against his rough skin, intimacy, another chance at having a family. The red glow from the digital clock shone through the bottle of whiskey and cast a reddish-brown hue onto the picture, making it appear more sinister, almost symbolic of her death. 2 years had passed since the tragic accident, yet Derek's pain remained. Most attempts at offering support from family and friends exasperated the void inside. One by one, people had returned to their own sense of normalcy. But Hannah was dead, and nothing could be said to change that, and very little alleviated the pain. Alcohol merely numbed it, but it was the best he could do. A twinge of sadness formed in Derek's stomach. He didn't have the mindset to delve into the joyful memory of Hannah, playfully turning away from the camera with the rays of sunlight kissing her chestnut-colored cheeks as the tight curls of her hair dangled across her forehead. She was loving, kind, simply beautiful. Haphazardly, he tossed the picture onto the bed in need of a distraction. Derek reached for his cell phone but paused to glance at his laptop. Later. Not now. You can't watch. Not now, he thought. Pressing the home button on his phone revealed 3 missed calls from the night before. Bourbon was the reason he missed them. Too much of that stuff, too. He swiped the screen to listen. Message 1 received Tuesday, January 8th at 7:40 p.m. Mr. Mays, this is Mary Ellen Ferguson, and this is the 3rd time I have called you about Jeremiah. I have filed all the necessary paperwork with the agency, and I was approved to be the foster parent, so I don't know what the holdup is. Since you're his legal guardian, could you please call me back at... He deleted the message before it was through. Demanding, annoying, and generally unpleasant, Mary Ellen was a person that could find the raw nerve of emotion in Derek. He knew her number, almost purposely avoiding her. Mary Ellen had been a foster parent through the agency before, and this gave her a sense of entitlement. She felt that the agency should personally thank her for her service to the community, or at least treat her with higher regard than others seeking to foster children. Mary Ellen was not shy about telling people this either. It was widely rumored that she, like most of the foster parents in the system, Derek knew, was only doing it for the government stipend rather than genuine care for the children. Despite her greed, the home was at least clean and accommodating. Derek had hoped that a family would adopt Jeremiah, a 9-year-old client of his, before he had a chance to work the system. Message 2, Tuesday, January 8th, 8:15 p.m. Derek, honey, it's your mother. I was hoping that you would be able to give me a ride to church tomorrow evening. Don't feel like you have to. If not, I'll just take the bus again. Her voice was raspy, weak, and the cold usually brought on labored breathing and a cough. She was also prone to infection. Every Wednesday, Derek's mother would attend church for fellowship, prayer, and an evening meal followed by Bible study. She can't ride the bus, Derek thought. In Avondale at night? In the cold? I don't think so. Some asshole is dying to take advantage of that. His mother knew Derek's anxiety over the situation and would leave him the same message each Tuesday, mostly as an attempt to get him to return to church. Derek hadn't been back to church since Hannah died. Church often made him feel worse about the situation. Too many well-wishers tried to make him feel good about a dire situation instead of letting the natural grieving process unfold. Senior Pastor Marcus was one of the worst offenders of such things, often denouncing the feelings inside of Derek by claiming that the pain was still present because his heart was not aligned with God. Flashy, loud, and even during prayer vigils, Pastor Marcus would go on tangents during his sermons that would often lead in hell and damnation, a topic Derek explicitly wanted to avoid. Even a simple conversation with the man usually led to the same end. Worse, Mary Ellen Ferguson attended the same church, and Derek knew that she would certainly try to corner him about Jeremiah. Like always, I'll just tell Mom that I have too much work in order to stay, he thought. I'll just take my Chromebook and find an empty parking lot somewhere and review my emails while I wait for her to be done. Derek deleted the second message, head throbbing and dizzy. He stumbled into the bathroom. Little things were a struggle. It took several taps on the screen of his phone to play the third message on speaker. He laid it on the edge of the sink counter and turned on the water for the shower. The message started the same as the others. Message 3, received Tuesday, January 8th, 11:50 p.m. Derek, it's Deborah from Children's. I'm sorry to bother you so late. I wouldn't have called if it wasn't important. I already placed a call into intake at JFS requesting you as a caseworker. But I wanted to speak with you personally about the case before intake does. I know you're extremely busy, but please call me back as soon as you get this. I truly need your help. Deborah Evans was one of the child psychiatrists from Children's Hospital. She had been friends with Derek for years. They had collaborated on countless cases, including ones where Derek was assigned as a therapist. Though Derek had stopped seeing clients as a therapist, Dr. Evans often requested him as a caseworker when they were heavier situations, ones that involved serious abuse, the nasty, violent type, the cases where children were viciously assaulted or sexually abused. Derek sat broodingly on the edge of the toilet as the dread seeped into his consciousness. Slowly, he shook his head. "No," he whispered. "She'll have to find someone else." Thoughts of older cases poured into his already crowded brain. 3 years prior, a non-accidental head injury of an 11-year-old, Jared, in January of 2012. The mother was convicted of child cruelty and sentenced to 18 months imprisonment. The child never recovered fully, only to divulge in his suicide note written a day after his mother's release from prison that the abuse had been ongoing, not an isolated incident. A little over a year prior, the death of an 8-year-old girl, Layla, in November 2014, was the result of asphyxia caused by ligature strangulation. The father apparently got carried away during what he called a discipline session, but he was sentenced to 2 life terms after the autopsy report had revealed his semen in the young girl's vaginal canal. It was a case that was initially disguised as intense social anxiety, possibly glossophobia, in which Derek was simply trying to get the girl to talk. Shaking his head in disgust, he murmured, I can't do it. 52 kids, it's too many to manage at this time. But Deborah knows these. I can't do it. No, she'll have to find someone else. Derek moved his clothes and stepped into the shower. The hot water ran over the back of his neck and shoulders as he let his head hang. There was something in Deborah's voice that was haunting. It clung to the last line of the message before it trailed off. I truly need your help. Intermixed with dread of the case, this line quickly embedded itself deep into the realization that he really didn't have a choice in the matter. JFS wasn't going to let him get out of a case where a doctor personally requested him as a caseworker. Derek knew how this would unfold. Coming from Children's, agency's probably going to close out a different case. where there are less severe allegations and doesn't require weekly, bi-weekly visits to make room for this new one. Larry thought. Wow. He finished his shower. Water swirled around for a moment before draining. Drops fell. An empty, hollow silence followed. Damn. I know what I have to do. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. That's spectacular. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, you drew me into it, man. I want to hear more.
Well, you know the book's right here.
Yes, conveniently enough, if you would like to hear more, we have lots of copies back there. And Brian's going to be back up at the stage a little bit later. He's going to give a review of his books, and we're going to have the question and answer opportunity. You're performing next, right? I'm joking. She's like, shut up. Sorry. What's up, MJ? I'm gonna get you up, okay?
Okay.
I think Steven's gonna perform next. He's gonna bring us some more music. And I think that we're gonna, is anybody else out in the audience want to perform anything? Any songs or juggle? Does anybody get anything to juggle or magic acts? Escape things? William, you got something. William, you're a writer yourself, buddy. Where's your stuff at?
It is not forthcoming at this time.
That's just not an acceptable response. I mean, to my inquiry, not just forthcoming or I'm messing with you, man. Again, I'm the MC. I can do all that. So, okay, I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to give the stage to someone much more talented than myself, Mr. Stephen Brashear, our sound guy, our resident musician, and all-around fine fella. Give it up, Stephen Brashear.
I may or may not have this. I always wonder why everything, how many people today play dice that know only me my crap sheet. Down out again on the road to Tennessee. Down if I will ever make it to the sea. If I can get over that next bridge into the valley of life. If I can get all the song written many years ago about growing up in the Outer Banks of North Carolina and trying to get back there after a rather bad experience in Nashville. Let's do something a little bit happy. So I was out in Batavia, here in Ohio, playing with a band. We were in rehearsal studio one afternoon, and the sound man said, "Give me some levels." So I started playing this progression of chords. Started joining in as the drums level came up, and everybody started playing along. And they said, "Give me some microphone level." So I came up with the only words that seemed to fit with this song, and I played that song, and the whole band joined in. And unfortunately, that was a good idea because we thought it was so good that we played it that night at the bar, and the rest of the audience loved it so much, we had to play it every night at that bar for the next 5 years. And it went like this. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got the fever. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know we got a mystery to solve, so Scooby-Doo, be ready for your act. Don't hold back. And Scooby-Doo, if you're gonna do, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby-Doo, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. We can count on you, Scooby-Doo. I know your cat's that willing. I saw her today at the reception, glass of wine in her hand. She was gonna meet her connection. At her feet walked the blues man. Everybody, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. Can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, tell by bloodstained hands. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You try sometimes. You get what you need. Let's do it all standard and we'll pass it on to somebody else. This is the only other one I can think of right now. Busted flat in bedroom, waiting for a train. I was feeling about as faded as my jeans. Bobby's on the diesel now, just before it rained. Rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. The way it's all by Bobby's hand. But then windshield wipers slapping down in Bobby's own hand, we finally sang a little song and drive through. Yeah, freedom was just another word for nothing left to do. I say nothing, so only pump out the feeling good was easy, Lord, when we sang. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me, nobody. We'll go winds up Kentucky, California sun. Bobby said the secrets of honest war. All kinds of weather and everything we done. Bobby, baby, she kept me from the cold. One day at Mussolini's let us slip away. She was looking for that old cheap band. I give all mine tomorrow for one single yesterday. Mine is mine. Freedom was just another word for nothing left to do. I say nothing, that's all that my Bobby left me. Yeah, feeling good was easy, Lord, when we sang. Oh, it was good enough for me. Good enough for me, my baby. Thanks much. We got anybody else coming in?
Absolutely.
Anybody else coming in?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna hand it over and pass it on to the next victim. Enter and sign in, please. What was that show from?
The next victim?
Well, that was from something else. I think it was What's My Line.
Yeah, I think so.
Next guest, enter and
Yeah,
sign
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
The next contestant.
That's the Price is Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next victim was, I think, Weird Al.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so.
No, it was the Cool Fool.
Okay. Cool, cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know the Cool Fool's theme song, or I would have played it in
Oh, that would have been super cool.
our theme.
Super cool.
I don't know if y'all heard it, but I was playing the Dark Shadows.
Oh, that's cool. I really liked, always liked to hear Chris Christopherson. So,
Yeah.
me and
I
Bobby.
didn't see you bring me, it's all the different folder I used for match
Yeah.
for Music Cafe a couple of weeks ago.
Sounds awesome. I think what we're gonna do, Brian, is have you back up again do your thing, and I think we're going to wrap the night up with MJ.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So, Brian, give another round of applause, please, for Brian Hershey.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, I do want to actually just talk a bit and just kind of give you a bit of a preview of the werewolf trilogy that I've been working on. And the first book is titled Forgotten Sin, and then the second book that just recently came out this past fall is titled Damned to Live. Now, it's tricky to read from Damned to Live right now, just because I don't want to give any spoilers away. I don't want to remove any kind of oh my gosh kind of moments. So with that being said, I'm really just going to kind of preview both books and then just kind of open it up for a few questions and take it from there. So Forgotten Sin. We are dealing with Dr. Maya Bishop, an expert on medieval mythology and folklore at the University of Cambridge. And she is more than she appears to be. Cursed, haunted by guilt, and desperate to be free from her terrible past. Dr. Bishop seeks the help of an animal specialist, Marcus Holland, from Australia. In an attempt to uncover the mysteries behind Dr. Bishop's curse, Marcus upsets the internal balance of emotions and habits that have kept Dr. Bishop's dark secret hidden from society. Set in the rise of the digital era, and no longer able to conceal her true nature from the world, she finds herself facing a new menace that is relentless in pursuing her for one purpose: to kill her. Preface. Horrific stories that begin behind the veil of shadow should be left in shadow. Many were born of darkness long ago and have continued to live, forgotten and hidden amongst the sinister deeds of humanity. However, it is important to remember that the greatest trick the devil performed on the world was convincing humanity that he doesn't exist. That's what kicks off book one. And some of you have met Maya back there already. I'm not shy about it, so that's not a spoiler or anything in terms of the book and how it unfolds. But it's full of twists and turns, and it's kind of like the first drop on a roller coaster. Okay, you're going up, and just whoo, and then you go through loops and turns and twists, and it's a lot of fun. So when I came out with Damned to Live, the conundrum was, where do we go from here? What happens? Who else gets involved? What threads came from book one have to be in book two? Werewolves. And the mere idea of their existence are known only among the dark pages of myth and legend. However, for Ada Rothstein, that is all she has ever known. Part of a secret coalition that has hunted down and destroyed werewolves for centuries, Ada finds herself in a desperate situation where she has to seek out the only other people known to be affected by the darkness, Robert Osborne and his family. It has been over 2 years since Robert and Grayson Osborne had last encountered the elusive, dangerous werewolf, also known as Dr. Maya Bishop. There have been no sightings, no reports of any unusual activity, no leads, simply nothing. Despite being ravaged by night terrors and hallucinations of the werewolf, Grayson secretly discovers an odd set of facts that brings Ada fatefully intertwined with a new hunt for truth and vengeance. This twisted tale of darkness once again rises with the full moon and brings in an even more fearsome menace. misdeeds of others often go unnoticed by the world. They're covered up and lost within the folds of time. Occasionally, these acts come back to refresh nightmares of old. My account is one of evil and darkness that began long ago. We try to keep our fiendish natures hidden from the world, locked away in the deepest parts of ourselves. True darkness, however, cannot be contained. The violent, unhinged fury within blackens the soul and perverts the mind. Once a person has looked into darkness, there is no turning back, and they'll never be the same again. There is a beast within us all. This book right here takes all of your main characters and shoves you even further down the rabbit hole. And I shouldn't say this, but I am anyways. Book 3 will be coming out next fall, and it will be titled The Brink of Reality. So, at this point in time, I wanted to give you a little preview of it, and I do want to open it up. If you do have any questions or anything like that, I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to talk to you about it, so please feel free, ask away. So
what was the hardest part of making this universe in your head a reality?
The research. There was a lot of back research, lots of books, lots of articles, lots of study of history. I got real familiar with Google Earth too, just because it's tough to just jump on a plane and fly over to England, okay? So, however, modern technology is wonderful, and I was able to pull up Google Earth and literally walk the streets of London, Cambridge, Germany, all of these wonderful places where this story in its entirety takes place. So I got to have the descriptions at my fingertips, and I never had to leave the comfort of my living room. So again, I got really, really comfortable with Google Earth. Matter of fact, I became a magician with it. It was awesome. So there was times where I would click on people that I know, family members, and I would see my mom out in the yard actually working. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of spooky, but at the same point in time, this is really cool. So I actually got to see people walking down the street. So when I would describe the people going to and fro, that I was literally seeing that happen. So it was a neat experience to do it that way. So, anything else?
I could ask you a bunch of questions, Brian. Let's see. We'll start off with why the horror genre? Question 2, what inspired you?
First off, I didn't realize that there was any other genre. Let's just keep it like that. No, I think the horror genre is, for me, it was always an aesthetically pleasing genre. It was always the thrill ride. It was always the roller coaster. It was always the, oh my gosh, that was so cool. And then I always ask myself with my brother, like, whoa, what would you do in this situation? How would you handle this? And we would go back and forth. And there were times where we would literally sneak down in the middle of the night and turn on, I'm dating myself, like HBO and see what movies were on. And you would watch Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. And it held a very pleasant memory with just my brother and my friends and stuff like that. But it has always been something too that has been underplayed. It has not gotten the mainstream attention. So as I came into adulthood, I really started to say, I want to find good horror. And then I realized, hey, maybe I should write it. And I'd fallen in love with words. I was already writing short stories for my classroom. And the kids, even themselves, said, hey, we like this stuff. And it was a shared experience of, oh, they like it too. It's the same aesthetic value that I once had, they also have. And year after year, I would survey the kids, and they would tell me, they would say, number one, every year, without question, the scary horror genre was what they enjoyed. So I just kept writing for it, and I got better at it. So, and then inspiration, that was the second question.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, like, are there any particular writers or novels, movies even that have inspired you?
This is going to kind of come as a bit of a surprise, but R.L. Stine, surprisingly. I mean, just because he has done everything in the publishing world that I would love to do. He's had magazines, he was an editor, he was an author, he's, had a wonderful series that has enriched a lot of people. A lot of kids come to me and say, I learned how to read off of the Goosebumps stories. Then they had Fear Street. There was lots of different things that he did. And he's from Ohio. He went to Ohio State. So, and that's where I went to school. So again, it's been one of those things I've always just kind of followed his career. I can't escape Stephen King, of course. I love Stephen King, mostly his earlier stuff. But I also will gravitate towards a Neil Gaiman, a Peter Straub, and I really just kind of get into all of them. Right now I'm reading a book by Felix Blackwell called Stolen Tongues, and it's really, really well done. So,
very cool, very cool. Third question, and we will final one. We do have at least one inspiring young writer in the audience. Any advice for him in terms of, what maybe you'd recommend, not recommend?
Major in business.
Business actually is part of it. That I will say that. I will say this: there is no such thing as bad writing. The only bad writing comes from the words not written down. The rest we edit. So, and when you have the desire to do it, and maybe even just like me, I had the desire to do it, but when I first started, I didn't really have the skill. And I had to earn and learn the skill. Okay, so the desire overpowered that talent or skill that I was needing, and just year after year after year after year, it just became easier and easier. And so that's why I came up with, there's no bad writing. It's just, the only bad writing comes from the words not written down.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I really do. Like I said, I can ask you a lot more questions. I'll do it when we do coffee.
No, absolutely. It sounds great. Any other questions?
Does this sound familiar at all?
What's that?
Have you ever heard of it?
Sounds familiar.
This is called Garden Step.
Hey, all right.
Nice.
I like that.
Okay, yeah, great.
Well, I will say thank you again for having me, hosting me and everything else. I love doing this stuff. This is what I'm actually striving to do full time. So
Nice.
thank you for helping keep that in.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Yeah, really. Like I said, love having you out, and that's awesome. I appreciate it.
I think you have to put this 20 reading or something.
Yeah. We have one more performer. We're gonna wrap the evening up and send everyone home packing with an artist who's never been at this stage before. And I'm gonna introduce MJ. Let me say before I bring him up to the stage, he has a passion for writing fight songs for schools. That's his thing. And he absolutely loves Beta High School. So, has written a bunch of songs. MJ and Tony are brothers. I tried to persuade them earlier to get up and do a duet with breakdancing and songs and this. Anyone can do it. So, but I'm kind of weird like that. So, anyways, I want you all to put your hands together for MJ Edwards. First time ever at Creativa.
Hello, everybody. My name's MJ Edwards here, and I love putting fight songs for Baden. I didn't go to Baden. However, I am a big Baden fan, and love putting fight songs together, and I want to play a fight song or two that I put together for Baden. And I also play for Joe Nuxall, Miracle League Fields. So I'll play one of theirs too. So I have a YouTube channel mascot. First mascot, I think, ever in YouTube history who has a mascot. And my YouTube channel was MJ Edwards, Matthew, then it was Matthew Edwards, and now it's called the Edwards Ramley. So the Ramley comes into play because it's a ram, and I made the logo, and I also have my mascot with me. Its name is Ramhead, and Ramhead is a pretty talented person, ram. But anyways, I want to get to play these two songs for you guys.
Hockey, 2R, colors, bright, green, and white. As Baden goes down the street. Hockey, 2R, colors, bright, green, and white. It's a bright, green, and white day. Hockey, 2R, colors, today. As Baden marches down the street. As Baden's yelling B-A-D-I-N. Rams down the street. Baden gets a win today as Baden celebrates the team. Hockey, 2R, colors, bright, green, and white. As Baden celebrates a victory.
Alright, that was one song. That song was called Harky to Our Colors. Now this song is by, for Joe Nuxall's Miracle League fields that I sold to them. And they played this song through all their events. So, future events. And they're getting the Hope Center next year building. That they're building. So here's Joe Nuxall's song.
Hey, do you play baseball for the Joe Nuxall Miracle League field? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you, Joe Nuxall Miracle League fields, for letting us play baseball.
wrap for me. That's all I wanted to perform today. And I hope everybody has a good night.
That's awesome, buddy. Wonderful first performance. That first time's always the most difficult, but honestly, you're a natural, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you get up, like I would have thought you've been on stage 50 times. I mean, very impressive.
Yeah.
Very nice. I know you put a lot of time into that. So
Yeah.
thanks again. Another loud round of applause for MJ Edwards, please. And for all the wonderful artists who came out tonight, everybody came out just to hang out. Like I said, we do this second Saturday of every month. Like clockwork, I think we've kind of had a couple, COVID hit us hard, but you know, we've staged a comeback, and we'll be here next month in January. Featured artists to be determined. If you know anybody, and please tell everyone about Creativa. I mean, it's how we grow it. It's, you know, this is about community. It is about you know, developing community through the arts, bringing people together.
Yeah.
And so many people over the years that I've met, got to know, and seen so much wonderful talent, and it's really incredible. It really is extraordinary how much there is out there. It's great people, great art. Anyways, thanks again so much for coming. Brian, thank you for coming out. Love your stuff. Tony, MJ, everybody else, Steven, of course, lovely girlfriend Erin, who hates me to bring up her name on the stage. William, of course. Next time, bring your work. Anyways, everybody have a great holiday. Seriously, go and just drink a lot of eggnog. Hold the ones you love nice and tight. Anyways, thanks again. Take care. Peace out. You guys want this cookie?
What?
You want that cookie?
I'll
I'll take a cookie. Yeah.